You know, I just thought of something really interesting, but then someone in chat said it before I could. So, damn. I'll tell you anyway. No Man's Skyrim. The ultimate in false promises and glitches. Just think about it. Who wants to make millions? But then someone in chat said it, like, 3 seconds before I went live, and it wasn't worth repeating, so I didn't. There's not much DLC going on here, but, you know, we'll play a little bit of it. Kirby has been updated. Wow, quadruple D. Kirby's been updated, there's some new characters. As you'll see here, I want to try to get to some of the levels. But Adeline's here. Adeline and Ribbon from Kirby 64, which this was a fan request. I saw a lot of people clamoring for Adeline before they were announced, so this is kind of exciting. And Kirby 64 is just beautiful. And then, of course, this is the new confirmed Smash Brothers character. So you get Dark Pit versus Dark Link versus Dark Meta Knight versus Dark Samus versus Dark Mario versus Dark... And Doro from Kirby Squeak Squad. So, I mean, it's kind of baffling to me that this game is still getting updates, but it's kind of cool too. So you can add them to the game. You can play through the single player, I guess, and I know there's new levels, too, so I'm gonna ask you, the chat, the people of Twitch chat. Vin, they updated Splatoon 2 today. The bathtub is... Oh, the urinal! So guest star mode, right? The reason I'm not doing Chasm, I said I was gonna do Chasm, but it has mixed on Steam, and I heard a couple people whose opinion I value say that it wasn't that exciting. I might wait a little bit before I play Chasm. What is Chasm? It's a Metroidvania that's been in development for like 4 years, and it's a randomly generated Metroidvania similar to... like, picture Axiom Verge, but more Castlevania Symphony of the Night, like medieval setting, but with randomly generated levels. But I heard it was kind of... it was good, but not, like, amazing, and considering Dead Cells is in existence in this world, that's disappointing. And I just got done playing Hollow Knight, so if the game isn't, like, really, really good, I decided not to, bother. Not yet, at least. Maybe at some point in the future, maybe it'll get better, or maybe I'll decide, you know what, fuck it, let me play it, but I just really wasn't feeling it. I was watching some of it, and I was like, maybe not tonight. I hear about Twitch's update. People don't really like that very much, which is sad. I don't even know what it is, because I'm using Chatty. Wow. All that jump and I still fuck it up. So we're gonna take a look at the moveset. Now, there's new levels. How long would it take to get to the new levels? You're in one right now? Oh, cool. Alright, great. Anyway. Let's take a look. We get some B moves. Ribbon flight. And okay. So, I think it's great. I think it's great that they continued adding content to Kirby. I didn't expect there to be, like, sporadic updates. For a game like Splatoon that has multiplayer, that makes sense. For a game that is strictly single player, it's slightly baffling, but I'm still happy that it's happening. Wow.
Holy smoke!
Oh, it's local multiplayer. I didn't mean like I more meant an online multiplayer game, you know, where they add like frequent content updates. Like Mario Tennis just got an update balancing out a bunch of shit. They added a retry button. So I guess they're listening to people, but they nerfed characters. They fixed a number of the like moves that were broken. So Mario Tennis is still getting updated, which great. You know, I'll come back to it at some point, and I'll probably do some of the multiplayer. But, yeah, it's just kind of cool that Nintendo would also support this game however many months later. Power of friendship. Have you ever played Kirby 64? I streamed it somewhat recently. This is the first stage of Kirby 64, you know? You could have fooled me. I thought this was the first stage of this game. I really did not know that. I'll be honest, the Green Greens stages look very similar to me. You got me. You got me. I know that, there's a couple other Kirby 64 levels that were repurposed for this DLC. It says here there's a lot of remade K64 stages if you play the entire mode. Maybe. I also want to check out Meta Knight. Apparently he's got some cool levels too, so... Also, let me just double check the moveset. I still have to get used to the fact that the menus are in 60 frames a second and the gameplay is 30. It's just a little weird at first. Okay, so I think Adeline's main thing is being able to do this and summon little paintings. And again, I'm not really that much of a snob about 30 frames a second unless it's, like, choppy. Like, if we're starting at 60 and then it goes down to 30, then I start getting annoyed. But I'm more or less okay with a constant 30. Like, Breath of the Wild was fine. I think Resident Evil looks fine. Bloodborne is 30. Is good. Speaking of Bloodborne, Dark Souls Switch has now been... the release has been changed from summer 2018 to just generic 2018. So what the hell's going on there? I want to know. Developmental trouble? Switch hardware can't handle it. I don't agree with that. I think it can handle it just fine. It absolutely can. If Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 can handle it. I think that they're running into problems porting the engine over, though. Maybe... because it was playable at fucking PAX. I saw it. It looked alright. I think, the HD version that they're going for might be posing some issues, though. Maybe the enhancements are a problem. I don't know. Oh man, I'm really fucking this up. I'm beefing this game mode right now. Sorry, there's so much to talk about. There's, you know, updates and delays and all kinds of fun stuff. There we go. So I think, you know, the vanilla version of Dark Souls, I don't think that would be a problem for the Switch, but I think maybe they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. And I think maybe the engine is just not gelling with Switch hardware. That could be it. I don't know. Or there's a licensing issue. I just don't know. No! Probably an online issue? Oh, that could be it. It could be an online support thing. Maybe they're waiting for the Switch Online to come out. I don't know. I try not to be too cynical about this, because if Blighttown was running, as someone said, Blighttown was running 30 frames a second with no problems, as it was at PAX East, which was in, like, April, then it's a very strange thing. It could be an online issue, could be an online infrastructure issue. Maybe Nintendo doesn't want people saying poopy words. I just don't know. But I really do want to give it another chance when it comes to Switch, now that I'm, you know, a little bit more versed in the style of game based on my Bloodborne playthrough. I still think it's going to pose a problem. I might get frustrated. I might quit. No, I'm not going to stream it. I'm just going to play it for myself. And the portability of it was what I was excited about, because then I could just watch TV while I play Dark Souls. Like, that sounded like fun to me. So, we'll see what happens. That's what you said with Bloodborne. I know. That's why I don't want to stream Dark Souls, because I streamed it in the past and it wasn't a good time for me, but also I know how much time Bloodborne took, and it was a totally worthwhile and wonderful stream. I love that game. But I think I'm going to resist the urge. Maybe I'll just show it off briefly, which is what I said about Bloodborne. Fuck. If the goal is to stream it, why wait for a worse version? I said I'm not going to be streaming it. You got wax in your ears? I mean, like I said, maybe a short, like, here's what it looks like, here's how it runs. But I don't know, I'm not all that arsed about it, to be honest. Anyway, this level looks nice, music is nice. Do people really have that big of a deal with 30 frames a second? Yep, it's a buzz thing now. Like, I mean, there is a reason for it. But it's also kind of like, it's a parrot. I'd prefer playing a game in 60 frames a second, like I said before. It's a 100%. I'd like to play a game with good resolution. Like, okay, look at Doom on Switch. It doesn't just run at 30 frames a second. Its resolution is dynamic, and it looks a little assy and a little blurry. So, if you're gonna get Doom on Switch, you're getting an inferior version. I mean, it still plays like Doom, it feels like Doom, it's still a good game, the multiplayer works well, I have never crashed from a match. The problem is, yeah, they toned down the graphics. So if you can handle that, and exchange get it portable, which I think the people that don't have a Switch don't really fully understand how much of a benefit that can be. I thought I was gonna play this console, like, docked at all times. I only play docked when I stream. Otherwise, this is a portable console for me. I don't want to say game changer necessarily, but it feels like it sometimes. You know. So yeah, the docking is, for me, it's just a streaming thing. And there's really not as much of a benefit to do so. Like, wow, I have a team of painters with me. It's actually very fitting. So yeah, but when it comes to 30 frames a second, as I said before, not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's okay, but my sentiment remains strong. 30 is fine if it stays 30. Some games are better with 60. Shooters, games that require like really precise twitch input for your gameplay, like that kind of shit, I agree, you kind of want 60 for that. But there is definitely, I think, people freak out about it to an extent that it's like, well, okay, what if your favorite game was getting a sequel? You know, the game that you love the most, that makes you feel like as good as busting Ghostbusters, Ghosts, and it was only in 30. Would you just not get the game? Someone said, I honestly don't care as long as it's playable. Breath of the Wild, 30 frames a second, didn't bother me. It only bothered me when it dipped, and the, you know, patches fixed that a bit, but it was still annoying when you're playing and you're getting into it and it looks good, and then, oh wait, here's a dip down to like 15. And then it goes back up to 30, because then it takes you out, excuse me, then it takes you out of the game. For me, that's more immersion breaking than Link looking at the screen and saying, hey, yep, that's me. You might be wondering how I got here. Something similar to that. But yeah, well, either way is fine, as long as it's done well. But yeah, of course, I'd take 60 frames a second most times. But the real question is, would I take 60 over portability? And the answer is, depends on the game. I'm glad I played Doom for the first time on PC. Let's just say that. I don't think the Switch version of Doom is a good intro to the game. I think that you should play it on a more powerful console or PC. For sure. Unless you only have a Switch. In which case, yeah, go for it. Anyway, here's this absolute fucking unit once again. I like Adeline's hide animation. It's really swell. All your points make a lot of sense, Vinny. Well, thanks. I try to be as reasonable as I can about it, because... You know, Zelda Ocarina of Time is 20 frames a second. I didn't notice that shit when I was a kid. Like, I knew the game... I knew the game looked a little choppy. Or at least it felt choppy compared to Mario 64. But it didn't really register. Like, it wasn't like, oh shit, this is unplayable. It wasn't until Ocarina of Time 3D came out on the 3DS that I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I can go back. Sorry, back. Okay, yeah. Oh, I've been watching more of The Expanse, because I've been into space things lately, and, yeah, it started out not great. The Expanse is like a sci-fi show where, here's the premise for anyone that doesn't know. Well, I'm always on a space kick, but especially lately. The premise of The Expanse is, it's like 200 years in the future or so, or a little over 200 years. And people have colonized Mars. It's not terraformed, but it's colonized. And they're also, like, mining in, the asteroid belt. And around Ceres, or, Ceres, as they call it. And they, you know, they have all these, differences now, because... You know, some people were born on Mars or born on the belt, in the belt, so they start to hate each other. So Mars people don't like Earthers, the Belters don't like Martians, and it's just this wonderful triangle of drama and hate. So it's an interesting... It's not like Deep Space Travel, they don't have FTL drives. I'm only on episode 4. But there's a mystery. Tom Jane is in it. I love Thomas Jane. He's great. He was awesome in The Fog. Or was it The Mist? Oh, Jesus Christ. The Frank Darabont one. Dude's the fucking Punisher. The Mist, thank you. Yeah, it was The Mist. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna say that so far it's getting pretty decent. Like, it's actually getting really good. The special effects aren't too bad. I feel like they're gonna get better as the seasons go along. But it's more about the actual, like, the story, the acting. Some of the actors are a little iffy for me, but it's a pretty cool space drama that doesn't involve, like fucking fish aliens, like in Star Trek. And I like Star Trek fish aliens, but not every TV show should be that. I kind of like the idea that it's just the inner planets, it's just people, and it's us trying to figure out how to be a spacefaring civilization. Oh fuck. With some notable drama. But it's absolutely... The first couple episodes are painful. Like, or not painful, but... I really had to, like, force myself not to look at my phone while I was watching those first couple episodes. But now I'm kind of in. I don't like it as much as High Castle, which I thought was also spotty, but pulled through, and for me has a very interesting setting. But this is a cool show too. These were the two shows I was most recommended. So I said, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. I can't keep watching Next Generation. I've, like, completed all of Star Trek The Next Generation, like, 4 or 5 times, so... I just needed something new to... Like, you know, something new to watch while I make dinner, or, like, something new to watch to fall asleep to, or, you know, while I'm working on some guitar riffs, or, busting ghosts. I am a Ghostbuster on my off time. I moonlight as a streamer, but I daylight as a Ghostbuster. Because they come out in the day, too. Something's going on over here. I need Bombus for that. Kirby gameplay, but with Vinny telling a story. Well, Kirby's a more chill game early on, in the early levels. It's not as engaging as when you're playing, like, Donkey Kong or something. You know, so you kinda... You just go through, you listen to some nice music, you suck some enemies up into you, and... then that happens. Talk shit, get hit. There we go. So are the Kirby 64 remake levels scattered about throughout the DLC? Or throughout this game mode? You just got out of one? That wasn't one. Yeah, it didn't... I mean, I don't fucking know. I just don't know. I'm not gonna even assume that I remember with the Kirby 64 levels. I know the Kirby 64 levels, that specifically, the factory levels. Shiver Star, I know a lot of. Some of the first areas, like, there's memorable moments, but if it's just like greens, I'm gonna have trouble identifying it. Controversial opinion, every Kirby, like, green grass area just all of them just blend into each other. I don't know if this is as controversial as I'm making it out to be, but here you go, get some squid. Alright, here's another controversial opinion. Kirby games can be easy sometimes. Shh. I know, it was a strong opinion. Can be easy sometimes. Boing. My RPG Maker levels, I am still going to attempt to stream this week. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of, installing and, you know, troubleshooting and trying to figure out how to get these things to work. And I think it won't be too difficult. But for one of them, I need to use RPG Maker VX. And I need to actually go through the levels, because they're not connected. Like, I just have to showcase the levels. Otherwise... otherwise you're gonna see one screen and that's it. I used, yeah, XP for the first one and then VX for the next one. How masterful is the writing? Oh god. Oh, you'll find out soon enough. Best music. Now that's a smart computer. Jesus, did you see that? Dude waited. Yeah, so how masterful is the writing? I don't think it's going to be as embarrassing as I think it's going to be. But it's gonna be rough. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. I mean, one of them was made when I was 16. The other one, maybe there's not a lot of dialogue, so it probably won't be too bad. Let me give you... Okay, let me give you a clue. Magus is the main character of the RPG I made when I was 16. Yep. How many love scenes? Oh, the dude's getting laid all the time. I had such, like, big plans for the story, too. Like, I figured out how I was gonna incorporate the other characters, and I was really excited to continue working on this RPG, and having it be, like, a good 4 or 5 hour long game, you know, that ties in with the Chrono Trigger universe, and it was gonna be a lot of fun. And then, currently, I believe it's about 15 to 20 minutes of gameplay, and then I just stopped. And none of that came to fruition. So... hence why when people make Vinesauce RPGs, there's been like at least half a dozen, maybe a little bit more, where people... I mean, with the right intentions, very nice of them to want to make RPGs with the Vinesauce shit. Kind of like Vinemon, but more traditional, like JRPG. But when people want to make RPGs, and they're like, hey, I'm trying to recruit a team, Vinny, can you help me recruit a team? I'm like, yeah, we've been through this, though, for like 8 years. They never happen. They just don't get finished. Because, I mean, it takes a lot of work, and not just, like, level design, but balancing, figuring out how to, like, get the, boss fights to be challenging and fair for whenever, like, someone over-levels or under-levels. It's crazy. It's just too much work. So, of course it's not gonna happen unless you're really dedicated and you're, like, paying people to do it, you know? I wish I had... See, Mono and I were talking about this, and Mono was like, Vin, do you still have your Half-Life levels? And I said, no. I wish I had those. My old Half-Life levels, my old Warcraft 3 levels, my old StarCraft levels. I wish I still had that shit. You know what else I used to make? Progs. I've talked about this on stream. AOL progs. You know, things that punt people off of America Online? At least 4 of you know what I'm talking about. Progs? Okay, so what progs were they worked with America Online. They were really big in like 1997, 1998. And they were just like to mess with people. They had like chat clients and you could like email bomb people and punt people off the internet. Punting was overloading their instant messages until they froze, their computer froze. Where you just spam messages. So with the help of a prog, you can just spam someone's IMs so that they freeze up. And then some progs had games and like little functions and improvements. So I made progs, or I didn't really make them. I mean, I used Visual Basic 3. And by the time I actually ended up kind of finishing one-ish and like actually getting somewhere with it, America Online updated, and everyone was using AOL 4.0, and none of the stuff that I was doing was compatible. And then not even to... I couldn't even preserve it because Norton Antivirus then detected my prog as a virus. So all of my many, many, many months of hard work got detected as a virus, and I couldn't recover it. It was just, like, quarantined and deleted. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at the time, so... It was malware, I mean, let's face it. To some extent. It wasn't, like, malicious. It wasn't, like, a virus. It wasn't designed to really fuck with people's computers permanently. It was... My prog was just a bunch of little fun features that I was learning VB3 to do. And then it was a bunch of, like, yeah, you could punt people and freeze their computer a little bit, but they could just restart. That was the worst. That was the worst it would do. It wasn't trying to steal social security. It wasn't trying to, like... steal your credit card or your girlfriend. It was just trying to, like, you know, have a little fun. It was malware. So, what else? Oh, yeah, the other thing about it was... Goodbye, lads. Gotta go this one alone. The other thing about it was... I was making a point-and-click game, kind of like Myst or Ribbon, and I was using Adobe Photoshop and a number of plugins to make this point-and-click, and I believe it was like 123 Strange Street it was taking place on, and I made some houses and some puzzles, and I think maybe yeah, I know. I think I maybe had like a total of 1.5 minutes of gameplay. and then I just realized, wow, this took me a month, I give up. So making songs must not take months. Here's the thing about a song. They take months, they can. I can also write a song in an hour. It might not be a good one, but with a song you have a goal. You can see the end. You can see the end point. You got your verses, you got your choruses, you got the beginning, the end, whatever. With a song, I enjoy creating those more because it's a little bit more immediate and it feels attainable. But that fucking point and click that took me a month, maybe 2 months, I don't know. I barely knew what the fuck I was doing. I was also like 15. So I'm not really good at finishing stuff. When it comes to creation, that's my biggest hurdle, is I can start stuff, finishing it is difficult. I get bored. You know, I get bored of games too. If I didn't stream, I'd probably have some trouble finishing some of the games that I play. So, when it comes to, like, songs, I have... Okay, think about how many Red Vox songs there are. There's like 30, I'd say, total. Something like that. There's probably 60 unfinished ones. Some of which we'll eventually do, some of which we won't. And then probably another 120 decent ideas that I've amassed over the past 10 years that I liked, that I never did anything with because... work. I have a hard drive. I have, you know, riffs, ideas. So I can start stuff, no problem. It's just the finishing part that's hard. Which is one of the reasons Another Light took like a year and a half. Finding motivation's tough, but paying for studio dates, that'll get you motivated real fast. Someone just said, bro, what's your SoundCloud? I read that like you were Theo Vaughn. Bro, you gonna spray all over that SoundCloud? Back here. Is it going to take another year for that vinyl? I got the test pressings today, actually. I don't know what the fuck to do with them. I don't have a I don't have a record player. But the test pressings are here. This is them. They don't have the art on them. They're just like your basic vinyl. But yeah, it exists. It's real, and I got the final art and everything today. So maybe a couple months for the couple of you that are interested. So I mean, yeah, sometimes I can finish stuff, but you know, it takes a lot of willpower. That's another reason why I like streaming. There's like there's like a goal, which is to finish the game. You know, to do a good job, whether it be a good job in succeeding or a good job in failing. But mainly the goal is to just finish the fucking game and have a complete playthrough. I like that. That's an attainable, like, finishable thing. And I can do that, you know, once every couple weeks if I'm lucky. Don't believe I have electric. Oh. when in this game mode, you can't switch to the other, no, right? Krakow. Oh yeah, Krakow has lightning. Making a prog, I'll just say, there was no goal. There was no end game. Once I got the punter developed, I figured out how to use the punter and make that. That was good enough. But yeah, it was a little bit. It was heartbreaking to realize that AOL was no longer compatible with my malware. Because, you know, I had a friend that got me into it. This is the thing. This dude who got left back, when he entered my grade, we became friends, and he was the one who introduced me to all this shit. And, he also broke my fish tank. That's another story. Maybe some of you remember it. He got me into Final Fantasy VII. That was kind of cool. And, PlayStation games. But he also tried to troll me one time by saying, yo, I love downloading custom progs. Like, you should do that. You should go to Yahoo or Alta Vista, I believe was the search engine that I used at the time. Alta Vista. He was like, yo, you should Google. You should search for custom progs. So I did, and it was a virus. And my virus scan detected it while he was over my house. I was like, oh, you're an asshole. That was strike one. Strike two was that he threw a bottle of baby lotion at my fish tank, which I used for tree frogs. Broke it, shattered it into 1,000 pieces. That was strike two. And strike three was that, well, he was just kind of a dick. No, the tree frogs weren't in there. They were set free. You know, they were good. So they were fine before that. It was an empty fish tank that was in my garage that was just being used for, that was just being used for future tree frogs, potentially. And a green tree frog. These are stories I've told on stream before. I'm sure of it. But, I used to go up to Connecticut with my family and, you know, we would, bring back tree frogs. And I would feed them and take good care of them for the summer and then we would bring them back. I don't know if that was a good thing. My family seemed to be fine with it. They were like, this is fine. But I was too young to know the difference. Anyway, I took good care of them. They were cool. They were nice little froggies. And, well, I had a green one year that could stick to the fucking walls of the fish tank. It was like Spider-Man. Motherfucker escaped. Even though we had a lid on the fish tank, that motherfucker escaped. So, just a moment of silence for the green tree frog that was never named. Did you name them? No. Also had a cockatiel that was never named. I don't know why. What the fuck is wrong with me? It wasn't just me, it was like my family too. Like we were just like, oh, you know, here's a cockatiel, let's not name it. But we nicknamed it Fuckhead at one point. But a loving, you know, it was a loving nickname. I was perfectly content to call it Bird. had a snake. It's like a little garter snake. Also escaped. Or, what if it was intentionally set free? So we didn't have to deal with the snake anymore, because it fucking smelled. Its cage was like smelly, and maybe it was just getting like annoying. Maybe. Now I'm beginning to wonder. Anyway, we called that one Mr. Snake. Very creative with names. Very creative. Though, here's a true story. My dad has a cat called Squiggy. That's a true story. I like that name. That's actually not Mr. Snake level of name. Garter snake's musk when annoyed. Well, that thing must have been annoyed 24/7 because it was farting all over the place. Vincent has a father. No, I was birthed from the universe. There was a supernova, and then the Star Child emerged and fucking fell to Earth to bring you shitposts and fucking disgusting, repetitious, unoriginal memes and red letter media jokes that have been done already. And, hey Mario, we're gonna do drugs today?
Yeah, Luigi.
It's time to paint my friends. Jeez, oh my god. When did I get Molly? I was 16 when we got Molly. Molly was a good dog. Best pet ever. Same year I made that RPG. Wait, this is an N64 level? Which world was this in? Kinda? I feel like it was... Oh, okay, Rockstar first level. Okay, well, it's reskinned, right? It's using the Kirby Star Allies assets. It's pretty cool, though. It's nice to get some new levels. You know, ideally, I would love a little game mode where all the DLC levels, all the hidden levels, can be played sequentially like this, but every character's level. So, like, maybe one where you can switch between the Star Allies at will. And you can go through all the new levels in one playthrough, one sitting. Because there's some new Dark Metal Knight levels, too, that aren't actually remakes of Kirby 64 stuff. when you reach checkpoints, you can change to different character you've beaten in this game mode with. Okay, so I've not done any of that. I tried to do it as the chef. A lot of these levels feel new to me anyway, just because I haven't played the game in like 4 or 5 months, or whatever it was.
Cookies?
Any level that requires the player's abilities to progress is also new. That's what I had figured, yeah. I was like, I'm painting. I have to paint to continue. Another thing, new season of Boss Keys started from Mark Brown, Game Maker's Toolkit, and he's doing Metroid. So, really happy about that. The first episode was great. It talks about how non-linear Metroid 1 is, but how linear Metroid Zero Mission is to make up for it. And it's a really good video. It just analyzes the Metroid level design philosophy, how it spawned a genre. What made Metroid 1 so unique for its time, and where it falls flat, because it falls flat. So, he did a whole series, if anyone hasn't seen it or is curious. It's called Boss Keys, and it's a series about The Legend of Zelda. And it's specifically the level design of Zelda, so, or rather the dungeons. You know, how the dungeons evolved over the years, what kind of game has what kind of dungeons, and how it all fits together. Mark Brown knows his shit. And it's a really great series of videos. I recommend it. So this new series he's doing about Metroid already is great. But yeah, I'm excited for the Super Metroid episode. Someone just said Mark Brown is my favorite gaming YouTuber aside from this asshole here. That's my kind of compliment. I'm a YouTuber, everybody. Check out my series on Kirby, where I pretend like I know what I'm talking about for a couple hours and then stop playing the game. Or even better, how I say, oh, I just played Kirby 64 not too long ago, and then forget what the levels look like. That's a quality YouTube series right there. I don't know if this was a dream I had, which it might have been, but it could have also been like a weird, like, toilet thought. And I'm gonna tell you what it is. Okay, Metroid Prime 4. Speaking of, Metroid Prime 1, someone remade the first area of it in the Unreal Engine. and it's gorgeous. It's so fucking good. So if Prime 4 looks anything like that, then holy crap. But here's the thought. Okay, Prime 4. You know how Metal Gear Solid 4? Spoiler for Metal Gear Solid 4, I guess? Do you know how you go back to, Shadow Moses? What if, in Prime 4, you go back to Zebes, and it's all first-person 3D, and it's like some of the areas remodeled. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Prime series takes place in between Metroid 1 and 2, right? There you go. Zebes hasn't been destroyed yet. It's like fully destroyed in Super Metroid, but I think Torian and some of the areas were like fucked up at the end of Metroid 1, but it wasn't fully destroyed. So if they're sticking with the timeline of the Prime series, they could totally do it. Would it be a good idea? I don't know. It might just be like stupid nostalgia pandering. But I think Metal Gear Solid 4 made it work. And the only difference is, though, we know what it looks like in 2D. So, you know, how would they make that stuff recognizable in 3D? But again, for me, it's more an atmosphere thing than the specific. Like, yeah, you can have areas that are familiar. You can have the stuff like that that makes sense to people who've played Super Metroid, but maybe just get the atmosphere right. Throw in a little bit of the music. Get some music cues. Could be cool. Doesn't Super Metroid give the impression that this is the first time Samus has been back since Metroid 1? Yeah, but isn't the Prime series like kind of a side story anyway? It's not like fully canon. Someone just wrote shock thought. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Prime is fully canon. This was a misconception. Oh, okay. So yeah, I think, it would be something that I would enjoy seeing just for the nostalgia pandering, but if they did it right, that would be even better. But it wouldn't... I wouldn't want it to be the whole game. Like, I would want most of Metroid Prime 4 to take place in an entirely new setting, with an entirely new plot, unrelated to previous stuff with, like, space pirates and shit. You know how, like, Resident Evil 4 is, like, almost a self-contained story? It feels like Resident Evil, but it doesn't have all the, you know, elements. Something like that could be cool. Or like, what was the other game I streamed that had that? Prime 2 was a good example of that. But then maybe Samus needs to go back to Zebes for some reason, you know, for like Kraid's DNA. Or I don't know, whatever. So, knowing that Ridley could still be alive, but probably not, Samus with a heavy heart decides, I have to go back to Zebes. And there's just no dialogue. It's, you know what I mean? Just close-ups. Just some foreboding music. And then the landing. Is Vinny writing his Metroid fanfic in front of everyone right now? Yeah. Hey, the good news is, it doesn't involve some kind of weird, like, relationship with fucking Link. Or, the other character, Slamus, you know? So that's that. In that sense, it could actually be something that maybe would work. Maybe. I don't know. I'm really just like free balling here. You know what I mean? Just letting it all hang down. And I do think that Prime 4 could be its own, and should be its own self-contained story, but if they're looking to get for some of that nostalgia shit, and like, you know, separate this from Other M, I can think of worse ideas. Oh, I have a good idea for a subtitle, or a title, for Metroid Prime 4. Metroid. Other Feet. That's the official name of my fanfic. It's spelled F-E-A-T, like, you know, a feat of strength, or an accomplishment. Other Yeet? No, that's Captain Falcon's game. Someone just said, how on earth do we not have a Captain Falcon emote yet? Don't tempt me. Good. I saw how low my health was, too. Just I've been on autopilot for so much of the stream so far because, you know, Kirby. Yeah, there have been some submissions. I've been a little bit slow to picking up on the submission. We have an emote slot available, and there's Frankerface Z emotes that are still available as well. So, yeah, it could happen. Could happen. Also, rest in peace, Frankie the dog, who Frankerface is based upon. Forever a good boy until the very end, and then even after then. Wispy Woods. Woods. Wispy Woods. Jesus. Squashed. That's where some of the difficulty was hiding. I mean, I'm hoping to complete a full run with Adeline so we can see all the new Kirby 64... Well, we can see all the Kirby 64 levels. Am I even, like, halfway through this yet? And then I want to check out Meta Knight real quick, even though I'm not going to be able to do the levels. I'm 3/4 done? Okay, that's good then. So then we'll be able to see a bunch of stuff. I could almost see this working as something like a roguelite. You know, if the levels were just, like, randomly placed. And the power-ups were a little bit more infrequent, or a lot more infrequent, and lasted the whole run. No, I'm not saying that the levels would be randomly generated. I'm saying, like, it would choose from a number of different areas from the main game that are of equal or, you know, similar difficulty that it could just piece together in like a little game mode that lasts like an hour. So maybe a separate mode to this entirely. Oh, fuck. Just spitballing. I mean, listen, you're getting so many great ideas from me tonight about Samus Return of Feet. I'm trying to tell you about how you can capitalize on Metroid nostalgia. Telling you about Progs. It's a wealth of information. And I fucked it up again. Hit the blocks, bro. Adeline's shoes are just loaves of bread. Oh yeah, they kinda are, aren't they? Again, I'm just happy Adeline's back in Kirby, to some extent. You know, because we've seen a lot of nostalgia for the other characters. They've showed up in various other games, and, you know, it's just... Adeline was missing for a while, and people weren't happy about that. Yeah, like rioting in the streets. It was like the LA riots. It was like cars were being fucking destroyed. Yeah, they were like Molotov cocktails, all because Adeline wasn't in Kirby video games for a little while. Crazy. Crazy shit. What if I just do this and wait? Yeah, that seems like it's good enough. I found the cheese. Sometimes when you go down a YouTube rabbit hole for video games, which I like to do, especially if I'm, like, you know, about to, like, take a nap, and I don't really want to watch anything that I need to pay full attention to. I'll start with a video from, like, Super Bunny Hop, or, you know, one of the people I've mentioned over the past year or two, that does the more in-depth stuff, that proposes ideas and theories, or maybe just analyzes the creation of a game and the creator's headspace, and it's like really interesting stuff. But then, if I leave YouTube to its own devices, I'll usually get number 7, top 7 gibberish voices in video games. Hey! You wanna know why Banjo-Kazooie talk like this? Alright, well keep watching! Top 8 video game characters that didn't make the transition into 3D. And you know what? The videos are fine. I watched a channel that was doing this because I was too lazy to get up and change it, and I just fell asleep to it. But the thing was, they are just saying things about the games. There's no analysis. It's all surface level. Like, Bubsy was bad. But Bubsy wasn't always bad. It didn't always destroy your eyes. And then, like, a couple light jokes. Not like Big Bang Theory level of joke. But, you know, a couple jokes. I don't know the name of the channel that appeared. I don't remember the name of the channel that appeared, but it was something, you know, with the top 7, blah, 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 blah. Jesus, what are you doing? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, it was like a top 10 channel, but top 7 cute games that are actually not cute, but take place in like a dystopian apocalypse. And I think Kirby 64 was listed among them. That's why it came up. Splatoon, Pikmin, there was a Slime Rancher. Again, the channel wasn't the worst top 10 channel I've ever seen, but compared to the stuff I was watching, which has, like, let's say it goes a little deeper, it tries to give you some info you might not have known, it also tries to, kind of hypothesize a number of different things. I'm using big words here, but compared to that stuff, the stuff that seems to almost always pop up in the Watch Next is totally surface level. I wouldn't say clickbaity entirely, but just very basic, light humor, top 10 lists. Mashing a bunch of games together. The one that got me, it was like, I don't know if it was a fever dream, but there was a gnome with a G-string on shaking its ass. Oh wait, no, that's different. That was Red Letter Media. No, what it was... It was the gibberish voice thing, and there was Splatoon, there was Banjo-Kazooie, and I think I was falling in and out of sleep when I saw this. But it was, yeah, something like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, why would you make a video about this? You're just listing games that have voices that are... Vinny, why does nobody love me? Wow, that's a hell of a question. Oh, I'm definitely qualified to answer questions like that. For sure. Video game shitpost streamer? Yeah, no, I got this. Do you hold on too tight? Shit. Here, I have advice for this. Okay, hang on a minute. I have here an analysis. Alright, so, just hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you're gonna lose control. You see it all around you, good lovin' gone bad, and usually it's too late when you realize what you've had. So you want to, just hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tight, babe, you're gonna lose control. Your baby needs someone to believe in and a whole lot of space to breathe in. See, now that is the advice. It's actually from a psychology textbook. So I hope I've helped with the problem. Yeah, the psychologist, I believe, was called 38 Special. "38 special easy steps to reading song lyrics on stream, and also to having people love you." Or you can just get a dog. Dogs are nice. They love unconditionally. They're good friends. Except for when you're, you know, I mean... Never mind. There's this... I was gonna say you're investing in sadness, but... I mean, you might get like 10 to 15 really good, happy, you know, years. That's pretty cool. Maybe buy a turtle. Oh, dude, get a turtle. Get a turtle. Turtles will fucking outlive you. Turtles? Someone just said turtles are OP. They are. I think humans are probably OP though, if you think about it. We have too many advantages over the other animals. And the ones we don't have advantages over, we can build something that'll give us the edge. I hope humans get nerfed in the next patch. Zoo? Oh, is that the channel that does the, basically what I just said? Okay. Yeah, no, I've seen a little bit of it. That isn't specifically what I was referencing. I was just doing obvious jokes, but... Yeah, I think it's like he pretends like it's patch notes, and like he analyzes various animals that might be overpowered. Something like that, right? I gotta watch that. Yeah, now, after the stream, maybe I'll watch that and go down a rabbit hole of Tier Zoo, which will lead to top 10 most coolest animals that live under 5 years. Number... Wow! I think mountain lions are pretty fucking overpowered, though. But again, it's not like... You know, they're pretty good, but there are a lot of other animals that could take them. And like I said before, humans could just build a device. Lobsters are OP. You know, I'll tell you what thing is cool about lobsters. Let's talk about lobster societies. Lobsters are technically immortal. Don't they just keep shedding? But you know how, like, a human regenerates every 7 years? Like, your cells... Please, don't take this as the word of God, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about most of the time I'm streaming. But, like, the cells in your body morph and regenerate every, like, 7 years. So, like, you're a different person every 7 years. So, is a lobster a completely different lobster when it molts and becomes other lobster? They don't die, they don't morph, they die and get replaced. What if you eat a lobster? It gets replaced with shit. Oh boy, it's getting weirder. Thanks, Bonkers. This quote-unquote streaming thing he's doing, it's just getting weirder and weirder. We gotta put a stop to this. We gotta take the computer away from him. No, don't. Just let him keep doing it. Better them than us having to hear about lobster molting and cells replacing every 7 years. Is this game still fun? Eh. It's fine. The fun of Kirby for me is the new powers, the abilities. So, one of the problems I have with this game mode is that you're just stuck with one character the whole time. Granted, Adeline's versatile. Quit hitting yourself! Adeline has some good moves. Adeline can do a lot of different things. But the actual main game for me is much more fun. Level 5. Someone said this looks too easy. Well, the main game of Star Allies didn't start getting difficult until the last, like, you know, 25%. But, you know, I died plenty. This, yeah, I've been on autopilot, more or less, which is why I've been saying stupid things for the past hour and a half. It's just... it's a good way to keep myself entertained. you were playing some pretty intense games before this. That's the other thing, too, yeah, like... I don't think Kirby games are as easy as people say they are. I think they have their moments. And then the true arena stuff is hard. There's a lot of optional, difficult Kirby shit. So it's a really unfair generalization to say that Kirby games are just always easy. They're not. They're easy sometimes, and you can make them harder for yourself, or you can play the game modes that make them really difficult. So it's there if you want it, the challenge. But what I will say is that I did, you know, play Splatoon 2's Octoling expansion. I played Bloodborne. Hollow Knight. You know, these games are not known for being walks in the park, necessarily. So compared to that, yeah, this is an easy game. But compared to just game in general, I don't think this is Vappy games, necessarily. It's not fucking Mario paints by number. Point proven. It was also lazy on my part. I kind of just took the damage. So how are you, chat? As one entity. I should just take a poll. And if the, you know, majority of people say good, then chat as an entity is good. And then anyone who's sad will have no reason to be sad because everyone else is good. That's how that works, right? So her name is Flamberger, yes? Like a creme brulee? Chromatic actually made the poll. Hang on, I have to see this. How is chat? Good or other? It's a very limited poll. But I see 50-50. Uh-oh. Other is overtaking good. Well, fuck. We good? We good? No? But other encompasses so many things. What if other includes great? You know, other could be a lot of things, not just negative. What if other is also like, yes! Like that level of good. Horny? Okay, listen, on the scale of bad to good, emotion-wise, horny, where does... How, is that's not, like, you can't just... Like, if you go into your job or church and they're... Well... I'm sure a lot of you are churchgoers, but, you know, and they're like, how you doing? How you doing today? Honey! Honey! Oh, so you're doing a solid 8.4 on the good scale. Gotcha, thanks. Because there's, like, good horny, there's bad horny, too. That's the problem. You see, there's a lot of nuance to this discussion. Why you do? Bonkers, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Other bonkers, there's so many of them. What level of happiness would I be if I said Danny DeVito? Danny DeVito seems like a very happy man. We don't know for sure. Oh, it's Mark's. You never really know. You can see the face, and then you can think that this is a thing. But in all seriousness, that's just not how that works. However, DeVito does look like a jolly man. And he seems to have a lot of fun doing Always Sunny. But he's got a serious side, too. I can't believe I'm taking this serious, but, he does have a serious side. He directed, you know, some movies with some real heart to them. The dude is an accomplished dramatic actor, not just comedy. Yeah, he's not just like a silly, old, weird, senile, strange man who likes milk steak and... you know, good plays night crawlers with a fictional character named Charlie. I mean, he's that too. He's that too, but I'm trying to say that there's there could be a lot more going on in the DeVito than we realize, that is easily observably apparent. I was like, you know, I could just spam paintings and I wouldn't have to actually do anything. Let Bonk do the work? That's cool. Triple bonk. I don't have to do anything if I really don't want to. I can just let Bonkers take care of all of this. I just don't want to get suplexed. Don't suplex me, bros. Bonkers, you take care of this. I'm just gonna be over here. Fuck! Do you think Adeline ever wonders where the other humans are? Now that's a dark topic of discussion. I mean, you saw what happened to Earth. Shiver Star. Earth, same thing. Someone said, who said Adeline was human? attack artist is back. Doesn't help. Yeah, that was a lot harder than I expected it to be. Cool. I'm gonna tell you what I had for lunch today because I ran out of things to say. I had Shake Shack, and that's a good fucking burger. I'm gonna say that it was a good burger. They do good burg. I kind of think I like Shake Shack better than Five Guys. There's 6 guys. Dweeb. Dweeb. We're gonna call it Shake Shack instead of 6 guys. I got sued. But if you think about it, if you just add one more guy to the mix, it can only be better. I've never had In-N-Out Burger, but when we talk burg, you know, I've had a lot of good, like, my favorite burg, as I've said on stream several times, is a place called Jackson Hole. It's a chain in New York City. I don't know if it's outside New York City, but these are just such amazing burgers. And you get so much burger, and they have really good, like, specialty burgers, too. But Shake Shack ended up being pretty goddamn amazing. I don't know what they do to that meat, but they also do mushroom burgers too, which I haven't tried, but I think I might be willing to give that a shot. You're making me hungry at 1 AM, sorry. I know, that's the danger of late night food discussion. Hunger is how I'm feeling. So, on a scale from bad to good, where does hunger lie? Probably like a 4 out of 10. Right? Like, it's not the worst thing that could be happening depending on how hunger. But it's not good. You don't want to be hunger. That's your body telling you that you need to produce more poop. It's like, listen, we need to produce. That's what we're here for. If you think about it, that's our function on this planet, is to produce. Nah, this is a train of thought I don't think I'll be following. Horngry? Alright, who here horngry tonight? Friend train. Someone also said a minute ago that hungry is just horny for food. mean, I don't know what to say. It's just, you're right, kind of. Even though we are OP compared to a lot of other animals, I do think we could use a buff in the self-control area. And impulse control. I think that's, you know, because a lot of us are a lot more like, you know, we're like robots. We're like little, like, programs. But I mean, how much of your day do you really remember? Like, Thursday 2 weeks ago, how much of that day do you remember? Aside from maybe one, like, semi-memorable thing that happened. Yeah. Because you're on autopilot. You are on autopilot. I'm on autopilot playing Kirby, but my brain has never been more in control of me. I think what I'm trying to say... Remember, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional. But just remember... Even though, you know, we are OP compared to, like, I don't know, like a mosquito or something. Or a tsetse fly. Or like you know, like a rabbit. They die of heart attacks at loud noises. There are a lot of times when, in between the more memorable moments, when you're just like, you know, driving or on public transportation or, you know, doing your homework, eating your pant, that's all, that's gone. You won't remember that. That's just, you know. So we have a lot of advantages, but we're also very, you know, we still have that autopilot function that just kind of starts taking over. And you live like 80% in your head while you're doing a menial task at your job or grinding in that MMO that you would love to stop playing, but considering life doesn't have an achievement system and the goals are a little bit more nebulous, you know, you trade that in for a virtual version of that that gives you notification that you've accomplished something. And so you don't want to stop because that's just... It's a good way to... It's a good way to feel like you did something that day. And why? So we can make poop. We're efficient poop creation machines to feed the hungry sewers of Earth. Honey, how do you keep watching this shit? Why do you keep watching this guy? Man, back in my day, we used to watch Happy Days. Programming with thought and attention put into it, where we would learn lessons about family and friendship. And this and Logan Jones is what you're watching? Jeez. Is this completely new or old? I don't know anymore, and I no longer care because I don't remember most of this anyway. So I'm just treating this as a new experience, and I'm being rewarded for it because I'm enjoying it. It's like a little condensed Kirby experience. Like I said, Kirby is more fun when you're Kirby, so you can try out different powers. But even as Adeline, I'm having a pretty reasonable amount of enjoyment out of this. Oh, the ninja's got some special moves. Ah! Secret technique. I only have 31 lives left. What will I do? Made myself a squid friend. Poor little fucker got squished. Could you think of a worse way to go than getting squished? I'm sure there's many dozens of worse ways to go, but I'm just thinking like getting slowly squished. Like slowly squished. That's gotta be one of them right there. That's gotta be... Oh, that's a good one. Like, the cartoons get squished all the time. I grew up watching Looney Tunes get squished. You know what? That's the real problem. I've been watching cartoon characters get squished for years, since I was like 4. And now I'm all desensitized to it. And it just seems like comical and fun. But when you really, like, think about it, that is not okay. Blended into juice? Oh, yeah. I'd say beavers probably need some buffing. Because they build dams, and then they can make people, like, die if they're in a smoothie. The fuck is that? If, you know, if life had a character select screen where you could, like, choose your race, like in Skyrim, who the fuck would willingly choose beavers? Stupid assholes. Probably. Give me that cantaloupe, please. Thank you. Oh. Still getting one-ups. Alright, here we go. Going this one alone. Do you like your milk with or without pulp? Is that a trick question? Yep. Does the floor look familiar? I don't know. It's from the O2 battle? Oh. I still think that this is one of the coolest parts of this game, the fact that it's about friendship, and the main villain throws the corpses of his friends to attack you. Because he is anti-friendship. Also, like, disturbing. This could be on one of those top 10 lists. Top 10 cute games that are actually fucked up. Eat. Pant. Get him, Kirby. It's not the real Kirby. Okay, I think that's it then. I mean, the attack upgrades are probably why this is easier. Cool. Hour and a half it took. So it's like a condensed Kirby experience, as I said earlier. Yeah, it's a good update. These updates are pretty decent for Kirby. You get some new characters, you get some new levels, and then you can go through the gauntlet, so to speak. Take you a little over an hour, and then you go fuck yourself when you're done. You never beat the Soul Melter, that's true, I didn't. I'm good. Let's check out Dark Meta real quick. Oh, so this is like an entirely different moveset? Mostly? Multi-thrust? Holy shit. Jesus. These cute little waddle-doos. Do they deserve this? Waddle Dees, sorry. Waddle Doo's the one with the fucking laser. Yeah, he's got a lot of moves. Most of which I will not be able to show you tonight, because there's too many. I know people are saying edgy in chat. And, after the stuff I was saying about the overuse of the word edgy, I try not to say it as much as I used to, or as much as I could. But this motherfucker edgy. Try using Dark Caliber near an enemy. I saw Dark Croissant. What did it say? Dark... Is it just me, or is the move that dude recommended just not in this game? Dark Caliber. Press and hold B, then release. It was just me. It turns out it was in fact just me. Yeah, it's Omni Slash. This is like Cloud in Kirby form. Apparently, Dark Meta Knight has some good levels. A couple people were saying that these ones are good. I believe it. But I'm also not going to play through all of this. In fact, I am now going to check out the mouse. Oh, I did complete the chef. Right, okay. Doroch. So I have a confession. I never played Squeak Squad. Papa Roach. There's a lot of fucking Kirby games in existence. I wasn't the type of person that followed the Kirby series 100%. Like, I didn't play every game that came out. I'm a fan. I enjoy the series a lot, but it's not something I followed to that extent. Small charge. We have, okay. Oh, that's a cool one. Awesome air dodge. Edge mouse. Okay, so we have down and then press and release B. So we have some summon moves. These characters are really, really well done. They did not fuck around with these characters. This is not like a quick, just throw out, get a character in the game, quick. Like, this feels like it was part of the game from the beginning.
Rush! Rush! Rush!
Nope. I mean, it goes out for a second, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it's a cool character. I can see this one being a lot of fun. Also, this level is cool. So, like I said, I'm not planning on checking out everything, but there's a lot more to this game now than, I know people were complaining it was short when it first came out. But there's stuff here. The main adventure is a little short, but you know, if you wanted to go through all this stuff, you have a lot of characters to do it with and a bunch of new levels along the way. So I think this is a worthwhile Switch game. I think Kirby fans, you know, Kirby fans were pretty happy with this one, right? Generally? I was. I don't think it's as good as some of the ones on the 3DS. Well, some of the ones I say. I mean Planet Robobot, but I really like that one. But overall, very good. And it's nice to see the updates. But I am going to take a break. I'm going to turn this off for now. And quick break. And then Norman Sky. Norman, why are we playing Norman Sky? Because while I'm still in the phase of being, you know, interested in it, even being awed by it at times, I kind of want to play it again. Also, I have a glitch that I recorded that you guys are going to love. And I'm going to show it to you when I get back. Make no mistake, this game is going to be glitchy. It's going to be stupid. But it's also going to have some good moments. So, just give me a couple minutes and I will be back. And if No Man's Sky is not your thing, or if you still want Sean Murray to hang from a pike, then I'll see you tomorrow. Come on by tomorrow with we'll do some Resident Evil and stuff. So stick around. BRB. Sadly, we don't have bingo for this yet. But if bingo happens, Char was making the bingo, but Char's not around at the moment. And probably won't be for another week or two, I think. But if we end up with, you know, the potential for bingo, that could be fun. Alright, stick around. Be right back.